the Investigative Team Show.
Call in the test. Do you need a movie review? Call in the test.
Who sings that song?
I have no idea. Playing
I
with
can't think of it either. Who thinks?
it's
Did
like,
Dolly Parton do that song?
no. I have no idea. I don't know. That's some garbage, though.
I'm sweating
I'll
my
tell you what's not garbage.
balls off.
We just came back from seeing Blade Runner
Oh, we can do
2049.
intro? Hello, and hello, and welcome to another rendition of Theater Investigative Team Show. Today, we just came from the cinema, and we watched Blade Runner 2049. Oh, the cinema.
If you had to describe it in one word.
It was good. It was good. I'm not like, oh my god, it was the best movie I've seen all year. It was good. I liked it.
Okay. You started the sentence by saying, like, I thought you were going to say the best movie I've ever seen, which I would agree with. But
Wow.
Best movie I've seen this year, I'm going to say it's the best movie I've seen this year.
I don't know. Like,
Best new movie I've seen this year, because obviously I've watched movies. I've watched other movies, but this was more than I expected in different ways.
Right.
In good ways and positive ways. I think modern, maybe like a mainstream audience, is going to say it's boring, which is a shame, because I was engaged.
They won't get
but
it.
here's the thing, though.
They
We
won't
were
get
in
it.
a theater. It wasn't jam-packed, but it was pretty full.
It was a matinee too.
And yeah, but it was pretty full compared to most movies on a Sunday. And usually there's people talking and laughing, and everyone was quiet. Everyone was engaged in this film, including myself.
Well, that's because they know about Blade Runner. That's why they went.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that's there were a lot of older people.
But still, everyone was quiet and watching the movie and engaged.
Everybody's still respectful.
I think
mean,
you and I made more noise than anyone in the building.
I
We kept fucking like poking at each other and shit.
Not really. There was
Yeah, the
some woman
imagery is so amazing.
Yeah.
It's great. He's good. And yeah, the music was excellent too.
Yeah, it was good.
The sound design overall, I'll give it like a 96, a 97. The only things that don't make it 100, give it 100 out of 100 is there were moments where it got a little loud, like too loud.
Yeah.
Like modern movie
Right.
loud. There's a difference between a stark contrast in sound and just loud.
Right.
But that's a minor complaint. The sound design was great. The story arc was very good. Should we delve into spoilers so early?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's gonna watch.
All right,
this.
so if you're listening to this
Podcast.
podcast, then just assume it's spoilers at any moment
Tired ass show.
out of our mouths. Yeah, so I guess I'll just jump into spoiler right off the bat. I love the
Spoiler.
story arc
That's
of Joe.
First of all, I just want to say,
Kay.
hold.
Yeah.
Spoiler. That whole thing is getting so corny. It's a little.
Well, you know what?
So like spoilers. It's like
No,
I don't give a
because-
shit. Don't listen.
Because before...
Spoilers.
Well, if we were watching this video or listening to this podcast before going to see the movie, you want to hear, okay,
It wouldn't
was
matter.
it good?
I
Was it
wouldn't give
worth
a
it?
shit
Is it
if I
worth paying
found-
for the ticket? Do you recommend it or not? And then, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then getting into the finer points of the story and giving
whatever,
away elements.
Whatever. People, I watch people's
Yeah.
shows. They do both. Doesn't mean shit to me. Just
Yeah.
tell me. It makes it more interesting because now I want to look into it more.
Yeah.
When people say spoilers, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Mm.
Oh, I had my mind set how the movie was going to be like this. So, spoilers doesn't
What
mean
I
shit
was
to me.
expecting in this film, I did not get, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. It was
what I got was better than I was expecting.
all
so.
right. Scale 1 to 10. What do you give it?
It's hard to say. I'm still wrapping my mind around it. But walking out of there, it's a must see. It's on you. It's a must see film.
Yeah. What do you give it though?
It's up there. It's very high. I'm not sure yet. I really don't know.
Well, you gave Force Awakens a 7.5.
Yeah, I give
was
this.
like
I think this is better than Force Awakens.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
better
they're two
than.
different movies.
This is better than. Yeah. This is better than Star Wars.
It's the thing with like Star Wars and Blade Runner and all these other things.
It's hard to compare them. They're different.
Yeah, that's
they're
what I
different
mean.
things.
It's just there's so much.
This is an art house film. It's beautiful.
There's
it's a director's movie.
There's so much like niche and clickiness to like all these camps of Star Wars camps, Blade Runner camps, The Thing, sci-fi movies, and there's such a following of the Blade Runner nostalgia, and so yeah, they're two different camps. A lot of people don't know Blade Runner. They don't even know the original movie. They have no idea they've seen it.
That's a real shame.
Well, it's just
Well, hopefully now.
It's going to make everybody go watch the original movie.
I hope so, because it's one of my favorite films of all time, despite some of its problems.
Yeah, it's an art house movie. It's an action movie. There was action going on in it. I was just worried about the story.
Yeah.
The story.
It wasn't
really
the
good.
action that brings me to that film.
Yeah.
It's the themes, it's the tone, it's the characters.
It's the world.
And it's the world
you
that's
wanna be in.
created.
Yeah.
And it's... Well, I don't know if you really want to be in that world. I'd like to visit it.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
want
a
to live in
scary
that world. Yeah, I don't want to live in that world.
I remember when I saw the original movie in the theater when I was a kid. A friend of mine had a sleepover party, and we all went to the movies. And we went to the movies that night, and we saw that movie. And I was convinced when I came out, I was like, that's the future. Oh
it
my
felt
God.
so real.
So, I wasn't scared.
Everything down to people speaking the combination of
yeah.
German, Spanish, Portuguese, English, and Chinese.
Mishmash.
Yeah, it was right down to those little details.
Yeah.
It just built a really believable world.
Would you consider
And this continues that and expands on it
Oh yeah.
in ways that I was very pleased with.
Yeah. No, they kept the continuity well.
Yeah.
Especially with all the signage and stuff and Sony
And it's hard
Atari,
because
they
we
just-
literally just walked out of the theater minutes ago, seeing it only for the first time, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around a lot of what I just witnessed.
Do you like this one better than the original?
Well,
I don't think so.
I think they're
couldn't do
both equally amazing films.
that. Really?
But,
Yeah.
it's
I don't know.
hard not to have the nostalgia thing of it, because this is a movie that I loved it when I saw it, and then the more I watched it, the more attached it's become an emotional part of me, like Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
It becomes something that you own. It's some part of your personality, the things that inspire you in your life. The art that inspires you, and these movies are art.
Oh.
And
That's
I have a
why
feeling
we used to make
we're definitely going to be saying
I
this
don't wanna
multiple
make
times. I'm
movies.
assuming I'm going to speak for myself. I'm going to see this more than once or twice.
Right. Oh yeah.
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
theater
yeah.
while it's still out.
Well, my first instinct right now is like it's good. I wasn't blown away. I wanted to be blown away, but I wasn't blown away, and I think that's my own fault now because all these movies that come out now, I want to be blown away, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't get blown away. So
I thought it was
maybe
more
it's my
cerebral.
own-
I thought it was more cerebral than that. See, for me, I was focused on.
I could be blown away cerebral.
What are we calling him? Are we going to call him K or are we going to call him Joe? Do we call him K or
K
Joe?
Joe?
Joe K.
I like K Joe. Hey, it's
Yeah,
K Joe.
well, our main.
Hello, K Joe. Are you here,
Okay, Joe.
Hey, K Joe. I'm home, K Joe.
So our main character is a Blade Runner. We find out right off the bat that he's
Yeah, I
a
like
replicant.
I was like, oh shit, because I was convinced.
Immediately, they let us know he's a replicant.
I thought he was human, but I like how they were calling him fucking skin job and shit.
Yeah, people just didn't like him wherever he went.
The human officers would tell him he was.
It was great because this movie did what my favorite movies tend to do, is to show you and not tell you. We didn't have to have someone come in and tell us about,
Right.
what's happened over the last 30 years and why people hate, hate
Replicants.
replicants so much.
Right.
You know, they just showed it to us by seeing how the world reacts to him.
Fuck off, skin job.
Yeah, fuck off, skin job.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah,
I like that part. I was
yeah.
like, oh, dope.
Yeah.
No, I liked
Cast.
a lot of it. What do you give it though?
I like the cast. I'm going high. I'm going close to 9 right now.
A 9. That's high in the Marinsky
That's for
scale.
me. That's a
That's
serious
like-
compliment.
Because you're like, everything's like 7.5,
Yeah.
7.
I'm a douche.
6.5. I'm like, shit, really, dude?
But
That
those
low?
are good. But those are good scores for me.
No, and they're honest.
They're good scores
They're
for
honest
me.
by you. That's why I
Right.
respect them.
I don't
I'm
want to
just like,
be.
shit.
I don't want to be colored by any bias.
No.
And sometimes that's hard, especially when it's something you're so attached
You
to.
lowball. Unlike
You
someone we know out in
Blade Runner is one of
California.
those films that we're very attached to. So I was, believe me, I could have walked out of there. If that was a different movie than what we just witnessed.
Right.
I would have been. Oh, you know me. I would have been angry. I would have been pissed off. But
Oh yeah, you usually like. I mean, you hated all.
I'm
the
not like, oh
trailers.
my god, it was so awesome. I'm like more in this state of like, wow, that was. I'm like, it's got me. I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Like the whole car ride here, I was just thinking. The movie made me think.
Oh.
And that's what movies need to do. And his last film
Yeah.
that I saw, Arrival, which now these are the only 2
I
films
thought
of his I've
Arrival
seen.
was really good. Now that was thought provoking.
Both of those movies, I walked away
That
with
movie,
my brain.
I was like, shit.
The wheels turning, and I'm thinking.
I think if we want to talk about, I think that came out earlier this year.
It came out on DVD this year.
Yeah,
I think.
I can't remember. Either late last year or early this year.
Early this year, it came out on DVD. So
Yeah.
maybe it might have been like a last winter.
I think yeah.
It feels like a winter film.
Yeah,
the way it
it's in
came
the
out
last.
November,
It's in the
December.
last year. Anyway,
Yeah.
because I think I did get it earlier on Blu-ray, but that was thought provoking. I kept thinking about that fucking movie for days end.
Yeah,
And
me too.
I kept looking on shit online and trying to read things.
I didn't do any of that. My
was
brain
so
just
intrigued.
dwelled in that concept.
The alien concept, the alien design, I was so intrigued by. It. I was
Yeah.
like, this is so dope. I would have
Yeah.
never thought of a creature like
The
this.
whole idea of their language being
that was
opening
so
a gateway
genius.
for you to perceive time
Yeah, that's what changed.
on a different level, like past, present, future.
It was kind of like
by learning their
Right.
language, you become prescient, and that's a great concept.
It reminded
And
me.
you just think about what the future holds for
right. It
that
was
world after.
Yeah, and it was a whole new concept of thinking about communication.
Yeah, and this one has me
know.
walking. This movie has me walking away.
Yeah.
Thinking not similar thoughts, but in similar ways.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh wow, so now we have these. If replicants can have human babies.
Yeah.
And they have this. They're building this army.
Yeah, I didn't
you know,
like that
to-
army thing because then it reminded me of like Tron and the Matrix, and there's all these armies building against these.
Maybe a little more towards Tron than towards Matrix.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
But it's just a
we're
subtle
forging
hint.
An army
It just
and-
lets you know that there's these people living underground that are willing to fight for the right cause.
I know. I could have.
But we don't see them committing terrorist acts. We don't see any.
I don't know.
We just see them kind of like waiting out their time, and they don't want to be slaves.
You give it a 9, huh?
I'm close to a
Wow.
9. I'm close.
I do not give it a 9.
I'm somewhere just approaching 9.
I'll say now.
And it's because
I'm definitely gonna buy this movie. It's definitely not, and I'm gonna watch all the shit because it's the culture I love and
Right.
like, and
Here's one thing I would have liked a little more of was
the cars were cool. The
which
spinners.
is they were amazing.
Oh,
the design
new design.
This design was spot on.
It was
Spot
it's
on.
So
Right across the board.
badass.
Right. And
I
even
want
though-
that future now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want all the toxic shit and the.
Well, yeah, I don't want,
the
you
earth
saw
being
LA was just a,
cesspool. LA was one big cesspool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, what was that shit billowing out on everybody, falling on stuff? What was it like?
Excuse me?
Fallout?
When? Oh,
What
you
was
talk
that
about
white shit? It was like
the snow.
It was it snow?
I think it was
I don't-
ash.
Ash?
I think it might have
Something
been
burning?
ash.
It was like they were walking around.
Or it could have been snow. I'm not sure.
I didn't know what the fuck that was. I was like, what the fuck are they inhaling all day?
Yeah, really. Yeah, but if he's a replicant, doesn't really
Yeah, he
matter
don't give a
that
shit.
much.
I
But yeah, he's.
I was shocked. Yeah, that he was a replicant.
It was Yeah, they told us right off the bat
Yeah,
he was a
And
replicant.
I was like,
and
shit, because I thought he was human.
But now-
You
but
always
now
wanna
we
root
get
'cause
to-
you're human, and you want the hero or the anti-hero to be, he's like me.
the first
she's
film
like her.
we got to see how a human reacted and changed his kind of like he wants repentance in a way for what he's done in
Sure.
the life that he lived, and he runs off with Rachel and all that. So now we have the memories of the child that Rachel's able to carry.
Going back to that about Rachel and
Deckard's daughter.
Going into the sunset. That's two different versions. The theatrical version of Blade Runner is they go off in the sunset in Northern California and the sun shines.
That's the footage they took from Kubrick's Shining.
Right.
They used the film from the going over the mountains.
Right. But it's supposed to be like
and he
a
says
nice,
in
happy
his
ending.
right, and he says
I
in
don't know
his
how
monologue.
long she has.
Yeah, he says in his monologue, he talks about how she was a special model with no expiration date. but
Right.
The final cut doesn't tell you that. You're
No,
to
in the
assume
final
the Nexus
cut-
6 has a 4-year lifespan.
Yeah.
She's a Nexus 6.
Yeah.
4-year lifespan.
And they leave in the final cut where he goes down and he finds a little origami.
Right.
And he picks it up and he looks at it, and then the fucking elevator door shuts.
How about
And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
So he's on the run.
Yeah.
He's not in this little sunset in the theatrical. So
I think that Edward James Olmos scene could have had a little bit more impact. But it was
Yeah.
cool to see him in a bow tie, though.
yeah, didn't he look like?
Because he wore bow ties in the original film.
Yeah, didn't I say we were watching? I was saying, doesn't he look like?
He looks like an ice cream man.
He looked like Colonel
Good humor.
Sanders.
Colonel Sanders.
I was like, Rob, check it out, KFC, man. It's like it's fucking weird. It's like, and I liked that he was in it, but I felt like they threw it in there. They kind of rushed it in there a little.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it could have had
Yeah.
more impact. That scene actually could have been deleted, and no one would have noticed the difference.
I wouldn't have cared
But
if that scene was in there.
what
it was cool to see him.
What
but
was good about it is the fact that our character is doing detective work throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
Which is cool, man. It feels like like a good Batman story.
Yeah, no,
just
it's a
doing
good-
solid detective
It's a
work,
good gumshoe detective.
tracking it down.
Gumshoe detective.
Right, without all the
tactics.
dialogue and exposition.
Yeah.
We just see him make all these
Yeah, yeah.
discoveries.
Well, the beginning's dope when he visits that guy.
The entire everything that he does detective wise is awesome.
Yeah, the beginning is dope. Yeah, there's things I like in it. I wasn't overwhelmed, and I wanted to be overwhelmed, and it's no big deal. It's not like I'm gonna lose fucking sleep.
See, I'm a little blown away from
Yeah.
the concept of now the memories that he was implanted with weren't memories that were created memories.
Right.
Like Deckard's daughter, we find out because she's got that, I guess maybe because she has that gift from being born of a replicant, even though she's human, that she has the ability to create these memories, the created memories.
Then why did
like
she
an artist doing a painting?
Why did you say that?
So
Officer?
his memories are her memories
Yeah.
because they're the real memories of the daughter of Deckard and Rebecca. And
So she was the one running around
The
the
impact
furnace.
is that now he's living his life questioning if these memories are real or
Yeah.
not, because now he starts to believe that he's actually the person when he gets into the orphanage. And he
Right.
goes to where he had the memory of hiding the little horse with the date on it. And he goes, and there it was, a tangible item in
Right.
his hand. And it was made of the wood from the tree. And the date was there. And,
But that
so
was actually where the daughter put it.
he's in anguish because
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
feels like,
Yeah, there were a lot of
just
twists.
imagine being told that, you're one thing and then you think you're something
yeah.
else and then you're not
Oh,
sure and
yeah,
then you
I
find
thought-
out again that you're not that thing.
I thought he was the boy.
That's what they wanted us
Yeah,
to think.
and then it
And
was
then you
good.
find out that no, the male and the female, he's the copy.
He's the copy. Yeah.
He's the copy. The
And then
daughter is the girl. That's why she was crying, I think, when she saw the memory and said, "This is a real memory."
Yeah.
It was her memory.
Her memory. Yeah, it was good. He's a good actor. Gosling. He pulls it off. He's emotional. He's good. I believe. Everybody was good in it.
A lot of people say he's got no expression, but in this film, the handful of expressions that he does have were appropriate for this film. There were no other expressions that were needed.
Yeah.
So,
Robin Wright.
That's the directing and the writing right there,
Robin-
using the talents of
Robin Wright,
and not
was
the
really
weaknesses
good.
of your actors.
No, I hear you. Robin Wright was. She was really good.
Well, who's that? Is that the one who played the
She-
bad android?
No.
replicant,
She
rather?
was the. She was like her. He was the.
The girlfriend, the
no,
hologram.
The lieutenant. She was like the police lieutenant.
Oh, the older female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was a captain.
Yeah,
or
she's
lieutenant.
good. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
obviously captain or commissioner maybe.
Yeah.
Probably commissioner.
But I liked
She had
how-
that kind of power. She
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like commissioner.
I liked how she was. I just know. I liked her character.
I liked all the characters.
Yeah,
I
I thought they
didn't
were all
dislike
good.
anyone in the film at all.
Nobody did a shitty job.
Yeah, everyone was great. The one who played his hologram girlfriend, she was good.
Yeah.
The badass one though, she was great.
Yeah.
She's got some talent. Who is that?
Yeah.
What's
think
her name?
I don't know. I forget. I think she's Dutch.
She was.
Is she Dutch or is the other
I
one
don't know,
Dutch?
but she had a whole lot of.
Yeah.
She had a whole lot of talent.
Yeah. She was good. No, they're all good.
She was good with her voice. She was good with her face. Her physical
I didn't question
presence.
anybody's ability of their acting. They were all on their
Right.
game. I wasn't blown away.
Yeah, get up. Why don't you get up and do your fucking job? She
Yeah, there was
says.
some moments. Yeah.
That was great.
You know what I loved? I love the aerial scenery shot, the flying over
Yeah.
these cities and landscape.
All of them were good.
I just wanted to see
Every
more of
one
that.
of them was
I wanted
really
to see
good.
more and more of
It
that.
was so cool.
Yeah, I wanted to see more and more of that. I was like, I just want to see them flying all over. You know.
Getting to see what the 30, 40 years later, what
Yeah.
things look like, and things are worse than ever.
He did a great with the
Everything's just covered
cityscape.
in ash and dirt and filth.
He made LA look so fucking big because there was a scene where they were like low rise
Yeah.
apartments.
Yeah.
And they were just rows and rows and streets, and you're like, oh my god, it's endless. It all looks the same until the wealthy people had their big high
Yeah.
rises were like 10
Way
times
up
the
in the
height.
sky, yeah.
Yeah, way up, way the fuck up there, like maybe 300 stories up or
Yep.
something fucking crazy.
Yep.
And I was like, wow,
It was
this
sort
is,
of like that too at the Tyrell Court. You
Yeah.
know, that was
No, that
towering
was it.
above the
But-
clouds.
but this is
above the city.
This is more future than that.
Right.
And the technology in building is probably better, and they figured out better material and blah blah blah. So now they're making 400-story fucking buildings.
Yeah.
You know, the big Los Angeles police department.
And everything looked. Now here's the difference. I was expecting them to go in and essentially mimic the style of the first movie, as far as as far as everything goes, and they didn't. And what they did is they made it feel like the same world, but didn't look the same. The first one feels like a living comic book.
Yeah.
There are scenes where and
Yeah, I can see what
they
you're
chose to use a lot of the same lighting schemes and camera angle scenes, but there wasn't like the matte painting stuff
Yeah.
going
Well,
on.
the technology.
There was a lot of model miniatures filmed on a large scale,
Yeah.
and then with digital effects to
Yeah.
clean that up. And that's what I like the most. I always say practical effects.
Yep.
Use the digital effects to just clean them up and bring that model miniature to a
accent,
believable size.
accent marks.
Right.
Just let
Right. And that's what they did.
just
There wasn't
polish it right here, polish
Yep.
it here, tweak
and the
it
color
there.
palette of the film is
Yeah.
amazing. It borrowed. I like a lot of things, like the one room where she's getting her nails done and she's calling out those orders. Fire 2 degrees northwest, fire again.
Right,
And
right.
The gold reflection of the water was the lighting of the room.
Right.
Like, there was no lights actually coming
Right,
from
right,
below
right.
or above.
Yeah.
The lighting of the room was
It was all
reflecting-
indirected, or
right?
reflected,
And they
yeah.
used that in Tyrell's office in the
Right.
original.
No.
But they just it was a little bit more pronounced.
I'm not. The cinematography is wonderful.
Right.
It edits well. The pacing is fine.
Yeah, the light beams coming through
Yeah.
different,
I
casting shadows.
just wasn't blown away. What do you think of Alien Covenant?
What do you think of Alien Covenant?
Just go.
Did we talk about this for
Yeah, I
about
mean, do you
half
still
an
love
hour?
it?
I still like it. The more I watch it, the more I
You
like
like it more than Prometheus?
Yes. I do.
We're totally opposite. Okay.
But there are things about Prometheus I like better than that, as far as its pacing as a horror movie.
I don't know. I just Alien
Prometheus' pacing as a horror movie
Yeah.
was closer to Alien than Covenant was, but Covenant was closer to the
I don't know.
the universe of Whaling that I know from some of the comics, and it just felt like it felt more. It was a good segue. It was a good combination of the two. It was a nice piece of Prometheus while getting us closer
I just
to.
wanted more Prometheus. Okay, I just wanted to get that.
But the more I watch it, the more I like it.
Yeah. So funny. We're total opposites on
That's
those
all right.
two films. I'm cool with it. I think Prometheus is just a much better movie.
I think
Cause
I think David / Walter, Michael Fassbender.
oh well, he's good in Covenant.
Is
I mean,
amazing in Covenant.
yeah.
And what's her name? The one who plays. I almost said Dallas. Oh my God.
The female lead.
Yes, I've watched the movie a whole bunch of
Yeah,
times. And
I know.
forget names.
All right, let's get back to Blade Runner.
But yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She was better than anyone in either of the other two movies
Yeah.
outside of Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, I just was thinking of that movie.
But yeah, man, I need to think about this more, man. Like,
Yeah.
But the one thing I did notice about halfway through the movie is that other people weren't annoying me. Everyone was quiet and engaged in the film.
The audience.
Yeah, me, I was, I was.
Yeah,
I was
we were all
focused.
engaged.
It brings you in. It's striking.
It for a movie
It's
that's
a director's film.
yeah. Is it
If you're
200?
a good artistic director. This
2
is
hours
the
and
type of film you appreciate.
7 minutes.
2 hours 43 minutes.
43.
Yeah, 2:43.
That's pretty good. It went pretty fast.
It didn't feel like 2:43.
No, it
I
didn't.
wanted more.
It had a good pace.
I wanted more.
You wanted more.
I wanted more. Believe this is a lot for me because you've heard me say this before. I'm not the biggest fan of Jared Leto, but I wanted more of him in this film. He was good.
He was good in it.
He was good.
He pulled his part off.
I wanted more of his motives. Not we were getting his motives, but they were carried out through his assistant.
Right.
I wanted to see more of his interaction in the film.
Right.
And there are a couple of places I saw places that could have been cut to fill that gap, but
Where were they?
It's really nitpicky right
Yeah.
now. I might change my mind after I watch it again.
Where were they taking Han Solo? Where were they taking him? She goes, where are we going? And she goes, home. Well, where was it?
She was going to bring him to Wallace.
She just left Wallace, didn't she?
She went to go get him. She was on a mission the whole time to get him.
No, they left Wallace, and they were leaving, and it was it was her vehicle, and then there were two vehicles accompanying her.
Right.
And that's when
her
Gosling,
guards or whatever.
Yeah, that's when Gosling came in and he shot out.
Right, and shot them out of the sky.
Right, but in that traveling in that there was a shot inside the cockpit that Harrison Ford goes, "Where are we going?" And she goes, "Home." So where were they going?
I would assume that they were bringing him. She was bringing him to Wallace.
No, but they just left Wallace. Remember, that was the whole thing. They weren't, because she dies. He confronts her. Yeah. So where were they going home? Were they going off world? Were they going to another part of the world? See?
Interesting.
Yeah. She goes, "We're going home," and they never said it.
You're right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And there was some kind of city on the horizon out past the water.
It was like big.
There was some light source out there.
It was like dams, wasn't it? It was like a big dam.
Yeah, no, they turned around and went back to the dam.
Right, but
because they didn't have enough fuel to get there. They were coming down.
You saw that shot earlier. Gosling was driving and he was passing the dam. There was a shot where he was visiting somewhere else, and I was like, was it a dam holding up the ocean or something from the city? You know, I don't know. So where the fuck were they going? Were they going to?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Where were they?
Home.
Where was home? Where was home?
Where was home? What
was
did
it,
she
was
mean
it an
when she
off-world
said that?
planet? Because remember, he colonized like 9 planets and shit since he's been in power. He's like, we should own the stars.
Yeah.
He was like, he wanted to become a fucking, king, an emperor of the universe. So, yeah.
Very interesting. Where was home?
Yeah. You know what would be cool to see now? It would be a Blade Runner movie where they have an off-world colony fucking incident, like they always describe. Like we see the androids in battle and shit.
I have
That would be dope.
I have a fantasy idea, but I
That-
don't think it belongs on film. And it's showing us the crossover. The crossover between Blade Runner and Alien.
Right.
Wayland and
Right.
Tyrell or Wallace. So you have
Right, right.
Tyrell, Wallace, Wayland.
Yeah. It's all connected. It's the industries. It's the captains of industry of the future. And you are now listening to T.I.T.S. Theater Investigative Team Show.
Indeed.
Does anybody listen to us? But we like this. We like bullshitting. But we are the investigators of theater, of cinema. Because we used to record, they used to say, I'm going to the theater. And it was like, theater, musicals and plays. But then it became the cinema. So when we say theater, we're talking about the cinema, the movie theater. So we had to fit in words for the acronym. Our version of it.
That I still keep leaning back. I'm sitting here thinking, and what really made me enjoy this film is that the majority of this film is Gosling doing detective work.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good cop detective movie.
And I fucking love that.
Yeah,
I
all
love that.
Philip Marlowe, right?
Right. So any of the other problems I might have aren't coming to the
Right.
forefront right now because I'm
Right.
still, you know what I mean? I'm still enjoying the nearly 3 hours of detective work that you know what I mean? It's so good. And where the music was new was excellent. Everything
Yeah.
felt good.
Yeah, the sound design is great.
Oh, there was one point where they only did it for, for a few seconds. It was that one flyby they were going by, and that synthesizer sound. It had it had a glide on it, and it was so.
Yeah, it's dope.
it was so cool, man.
Nothing's gonna beat Vangelis's soundtrack though. You're never gonna beat
There
the
were
original.
moments where it felt like it though.
It's
it
good.
fit
It's
in.
good. I'll probably
You watch those
download
movies
it.
back to back.
Yeah, but nothing's gonna be Vangelis.
You know?
Vangelis.
When the Blu-ray comes out,
Vangelis is great.
you watch the final cut and then this film right away back to back, and the music's gonna feel good.
Yeah.
But I'll agree. But then again, those melodies and we've just seen this and witnessed it once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back and go, Rob, what do you think Alien Covenant? If it is the beef, bacon, and beans episode? You promised me another episode of beef, bacon, and beans. That was gonna be our third podcast. You promised me, Rob.
Should we have a show or a segment
bacon,
based on like Southern fried movies and call that beef, bacon, and baked
and
beans?
Well, would that be disrespectful to people of the South?
No, it could be good movies. Any movie that takes place in the South.
I don't care. We can talk about anything: beef, bacon, and beards,
Yeah.
and booze.
I'm not being
And
insulting.
biscuits.
If someone's insulted, then that's their problem, not mine.
Oh, I'm just playing with you.
yeah.
Pulling your
But no, I
leg.
mean,
Woo-hoo.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw. I love Texas. Two things come out of Texas.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yoo-hoo.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Land of 1,000 Confederate statues.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh my God, that's racist.
I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, you did.
I just meant it
You
like it was
racist
backwards.
pig. I'm gonna report you to the internet police.
Yeah.
You are gonna be woo. It's gonna be Blade Runner, man.
Hey, that's all right. I'll
Thought
just show him
movie-
my badge. I'm with
thought-
I'm Theater Investigative Team
Exactly.
Detective Marinsky.
You're absolved.
I'm Detective Marinsky.
Yeah.
They
You've
all
got
know me.
diplomatic immunity.
They all know me.
Thought police coming after Rob.
That's right.
Thought police, internet police. You are gonna be mocked and shamed.
So what's your score?
I give it a.
Ooh. Be honest. It's just this is your first reaction. You know we're going to talk about this again. We're going to see it a few more times.
7.5.
I thought you were going to lean on 6 right there. had me thinking you were going to say 6. 7.5.
I gave A Force Awakens an 8, but you gave that a 7.5.
Yeah. I'm going somewhere 8.5 to 9 on this.
8.5 to 9. Yeah.
And because I'm looking past some of the issues, and I'm looking at just how beautiful it is.
Well, I give Arrival
It's
about
such
a
a
9.
good-
I give Arrival about a 9.
And I think this is visually a much more striking film than Arrival.
Oh, yeah,
Arrival
yeah, yeah.
wasn't meant to be a striking film
No.
visually.
Arrival was about the story.
Right.
The story
Arrival
genius.
was meant to make you think
The
and
story
make you
was
focus
great.
on this character
So great.
and the concept.
Yeah, the whole concept and story of Arrival
And
was
it
brilliant.
kept it simple, but it was such a fresh idea. But this too, I like the take that it took. It really did expand on what does it mean to be human, and do you consider,
Human.
do you show the
Human.
same respect to
You gotta say it
Kay
like Deep
or
Space Nine.
Joe? Do you show him the same respect you show to a human? And I walk out of that movie saying, yes, I do. I show him the same amount of respect and empathy I do a human.
Yeah.
His character arc was excellent.
Oh yeah.
He was
Dies
a
at the end.
good,
Just
good
like,
cop, a good detective.
Just like Rutger Hauer dies at the end.
Yeah.
Tears in rain.
Yeah, we didn't get a Tears and Rain moment, which in a way...
that was it. He died on the steps. He died.
You think he died there?
Yeah.
I thought he was just laying back like John
No,
Donne.
that's the whole point. I think he died. Right? Remember, he opened his jacket and he had the wound still because
Yeah.
he dies. He dies at the end.
Or he's going to die, or
Well,
or it can be
No,
ambiguous.
it was him dying. It was him dying. He said, "Go see your daughter." Why don't you go see your daughter?
He says, "What are you to me?" But to him,
So
you're
Harrison.
to him, he's dad.
So,
right?
so is Harrison Ford a human or a replicant?
In my mind, he's human, and in the mind
But
of
they kept saying
in the
it's a
mind of
miracle.
everyone but Ridley Scott involved in
miracle.
making the film.
Well, that's the thing. I said that earlier. I said the theatrical version of the original.
he
Blade
has to
Runner
be human because
is human. The director's cut or the final cut, he's implied that he's a replicant.
there's subtle implications, and it's left up to the
No,
viewer.
it's as everybody knows. It's one is supposed to be he's human. The other one he's supposed to be a replicant. And he doesn't know. He thinks he's
Conventional
human.
wisdom, yeah, but
he
it's
thinks
not
he's human
official.
and he's a replicant because they edit certain ways and there's certain shots you watch where you see his eyes glow and he's on the piano and he's thinking about the unicorn because that's it's an implant.
I see those arguments.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's the argument. That's it right
but
there.
to
in a
me,
nutshell.
I enjoy the character more if he's human. I think Deckard should be human. I don't think it's necessary for him to be a replicant. Because think about this. The miracle was that Rachel had a child. So two replicants aren't going to make a child.
Well, that's.
But
I don't
she
know.
might
That's
be
what I
able to
came away with
carry.
it.
She might be able to carry because she can have a synthetic egg.
I came away.
And she might be able to carry.
I came away with it. Is that
And the reason why the
is
girl,
that a centipede thing there? Is that
yes,
a game in that?
it's centipede. Yes,
Can you hand that to me? Because I can't.
it's gonna make way too much noise.
I'm not gonna play with it. I just want to look at it.
Oh my God, keep talking.
Rob has this really cool arcade replica. Oh, there's the box and there's the actual thing. He has this. Rob is a big gamer and he's got all this eclectic. Is this Tommy?
Tune in and watch Those Ancient Geeks podcast. I
Rob's
do
a
with
big gamer.
Izzy, also known as Vendraco, and we talk about retro video games and what they mean to us and different topics.
He has this little replica, like toy arcade game, like one in the arcades back in the '80s, and you can actually you can play it, right, Rob? Or is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
The emulation is excellent.
Yeah, but it looks like one of those stand-up arcade games. It's pretty badass. It's Centipede. That's a hard fucking game.
Centipede's a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's hard. I always thought it was a hard game.
When there was
this is
the
dope, Rob.
right by your house, just south, or no, excuse me, north of the Gotham Diner,
Right.
by your house, there used to be one of those Fun Time Pizza arcades,
Right.
and we were there, and I was playing Centipede, and they were filming the commercial for it that day, and
Wow, Rob, this is really good.
and they filmed me, and my parents signed a little thing, and I was in the commercial for like 2 seconds, playing Centipede as
I'm
a little
playing
kid.
Rob's game right now. I'm sorry. I'm really impressed. This is pretty good, Rob. Wow.
I didn't make it. I just bought it.
No.
It is cool though.
No, that's
It's badass. There's a bunch of them. They make a bunch of them.
First
There's
of
like
all,
Miss
they
Pac-Man and
recreated what it looks
Frogger.
like. This is
Yeah.
impressive, man.
Miss
How much
Pac-Man,
was this thing?
Frogger, Cubert, $20.
Yeah. This is dope, man.
Yeah, I want to get the whole collection.
Oh, they have them all. Oh, dope. Yeah. It sucks when you buy shit. Because then you're like,
It sucks
I'm a
spending
hoarder.
money.
I'm a
It
hoarder
sucks
of this.
spending the money.
Yeah, it's like, do I pay the rent or
Do
buy
I
this,
eat or do I buy a new
or
microphone?
buy this stupid thing that's
Yeah.
inanimate object and it's not going to do anything but sit and collect dust. But I gotta have it.
Nah, it doesn't collect dust. I play with it. You just played with it. My buddy Joe played with it yesterday.
Yeah, but there's going to be a period where it's not going to be played with.
Yeah, but it's part of my collection.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way when I collect shit, but it's just funny. But getting back to the movie.
Yeah.
What about Alien Covenant?
Oh God, here we go. Nah, I'm not talking about Alien
No.
Covenant.
What
But I've become a fan of it though.
of what?
Alien Covenant.
Oh shit. Oh, that's good stuff, man. No, I give it a 7.5 Blade Runner.
7.5.
2049.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just be repeating myself if I told you the reasons why I'm giving it a high score from my initial first reaction.
Yeah.
It was fun. A lot of people are gonna complain though. I think mainstream audience is gonna it was slow, it was boring, it was too long. But I think it's because a lot of the ideas might are just gonna either get past them or they're just not gonna be interested in those topics.
Right.
The subtleties of the underlying thing from both films and from the original book that it's loosely based on is what does it mean to be human.
Right.
And I think it tackled it really well. I think it did an excellent job. It expanded on the idea way more than the first one did. What are you doing?
I recorded
with that noise.
something.
What at the movie?
Yeah, just a little. I wanted to get the end when the credits were coming up. The music was really cool.
Okay.
And before I got it set up, that segment of the music just ended, and it just went to a different style, and I was like, "Fuck."
I would have loved them to do the same exact, or like a re-recording of the original.
Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting for something like that. Yeah.
I would have loved to have heard that
maybe
again.
if they have an extended soundtrack that comes out, maybe they'll do that. Sometimes they add shit.
Maybe director's cut or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. See, to me, this is the director's cut. This feels like, what I liked about his other movie, and what I like even, about Ridley Scott's recent Alien films is that they're auteured visions, and that to me it's worth the ticket price.
Right.
I'll grant it some of
Right.
little nitpicks, things that I would have done differently.
Right.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm gonna let some of those things pass.
The music was good. The acting was good. The story was good.
The pieces all fit together.
Everything.
All the pieces fit together beautifully.
I just wasn't like, I don't know.
What were you expecting? More of an action film? More of a
No.
callback to the original?
No, something
More
that
fan service?
No, something that fan service.
Yeah, so things showing us things that we've seen before, like they do with all the Star Wars films.
No, I don't need.
Like we don't need him to bump into Ponda Baba in the street. Hey, I don't like you. Watch your step.
Yeah,
we don't need that in this film.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking for
We
that.
get enough of that
I'm just
crap
looking
in
for-
Star Wars and Star Trek reboots.
Right. I'm just looking at I don't know, maybe more intriguing storyline. Maybe I should look for. I don't know. Something.
See, I
something-
got what I wanted with the story.
Something.
I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
I did.
And I figured it all out. I knew where the story
And the
was going.
and the characters were just right to deliver that
Yeah.
story that I wanted.
I knew they were. I knew where they were going. I just had to.
How many pages of dialogue do you think are in this film?
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Can you count them on 2 hands and 2 feet? Like, seriously. This movie showed you everything, didn't tell you a lot. I love that.
Yeah.
I love being immersed in a film. I love,
well, that's what I was looking for.
You've seen Vertigo, I'm assuming, right?
I didn't want
the
to
whole
know
opening
anything about this
sequence.
movie.
The whole opening sequence to Vertigo.
Yeah.
There's no dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just you're engaged
Well, that's
in the
that's
world.
the difference between
Right.
a movie and a play. A play is all about dialogue. A stage play is all about dialogue. Movies is
Right.
all about visuals.
Right. Some plays though,
Like Tarantino, he writes.
some plays don't
Tarantino
have to
should
rely
write a
on
play
it
and
depending on their set
do
designs.
it on Broadway or some shit.
Right.
Because he writes more of a stage play movie,
Mm-hmm.
where I like just visuals with a little dialogue or no dialogue.
Yeah.
Because
I just like
filmmaking is about visuals.
If
where
you
you're
have
showing
strong
me
actors.
this world that you created, and this filmmaker is trying to take us into their world.
Well, also you need another thing another piece of the puzzle is you need to have strong actors with a good direction,
Right.
and the presence, just their presence alone, carries the film.
Right,
like
right.
in our last podcast, The Thing, Carpenter's Thing, all of the characters, they don't need to tell us their names. They don't need to, you know what I'm saying? Like the presence of who they are, we know everything we need to know.
Right.
Just this movie really did. I think it balanced. I think it balanced really well, even though it was fucking 2 hours and 43 minutes. They should, instead of 2049, they should have called it 2043.
Right. Yeah.
Or 02 colon 43.
Right.
0243. But yeah, the runtime is long, but it didn't bother me. I was satisfied.
Like I said, it went smooth. I just wasn't blown away. Sorry.
What were you hoping for, or what that could have potentially changed your opinion on that? Like what would you have done to get you there, to where you wanted, where you would be blown away?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting.
Can't put your finger on it.
I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't, that's I thought it was good. I didn't find it like, I don't know. When I saw, what was it? Cameron's Avatar, that had some shit in it that I wasn't expecting, and I was like, oh wow, that's dope.
I still haven't seen that movie.
You haven't seen Avatar?
Nope.
Wow. Did you ever see Wall-E?
Wall-E. Oh, like WAL-E.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I
Pixar
like that.
movie?
Yeah, that's the first Blu-ray. When I bought my first Blu-ray player, that's the first Blu-ray I bought was Wall-E.
When you see that opening of the Earth and this little robot going around,
Yeah,
with the music,
it's a cool movie.
I was blown away, dude.
It's a cool movie.
I was like, it gets kind of like a story, but the idea of this eerie Earth in the future.
An abandoned Earth.
An abandoned Earth was so fucking eerie and good.
But Blade Runner is largely abandoned by the wealthy.
Yeah.
Except for some of those engineers that, still
right.
keep their headquarters on Earth.
I just
Because there's still money to be made on Earth from all of those that live in the Undercity. And also, resources.
yeah. See, like I was saying, Wall-E for me was like, wow, this is fucking dope.
Wall-E was cool.
The beginning was like, oh my god, what an intro. I'm like, I'm so really locked in.
Right.
I wanted more. This I wasn't looking for more. I was looking like, okay.
You wanted more of the like sci-fi elements. Maybe.
I don't know. I just wanted to be like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
That's what Prometheus.
To me, I
the
liked it
beginning of
because
Prometheus does that for me too. When
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like, oh, the spaceship coming down, and is this Earth? Or I was just like, oh my god, I had
whoever
all
the
these
writers
questions.
were for Wall-E did a good job
Yeah.
because those writers, it's difficult making cartoon robots feel endearing. It's a love story about cartoon robots.
Yeah,
And it worked.
And
it worked.
I mean, it got very Disney-esque towards the end. But that first 20 minutes of Wall-E,
It's a kids'
is
movie
great.
with a very
adult theme running. through.
yeah, is that heavy-hearted. Not so much maybe a love story, but maybe a romance story.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's my
Robots
comparison.
connecting on with what you normally consider human emotion.
That movie, like, oh, I'm intrigued.
But
The
here we
beginning
go.
Of Avatar, I was intrigued. The Arrival, I was intrigued right from the bat. I was like, boom, boom, boom. This, I wasn't like.
Well, the Blade Runner films have the same idea. They're human emotions felt by otherwise,
Yeah,
robots.
I just wasn't. I was psyched to see
in a
this,
sense.
but you know, I'm just not like, eh.
Even though they're biological.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah, we'll be watching that. We'll be watching that again.
Yeah. I just I don't know. How much did we record so far?
Enough. We can call this a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I'm definitely gonna go see it again. I'm definitely buying the Blu-ray. There's no doubt about it.
There's one thing that I'm certain of, and that's no matter how much my opinion changes one way or the other, it's not going to swing so much one way or the other. And I'm already saying that this is a must-see film.
Oh yeah.
So if you're listening to this
Yeah,
and you're like, oh,
definitely.
I
You
didn't
have
give
to
a
go
fuck
see
about
it.
spoilers, I just wanted to hear you idiots talk. You know what? Get off your ass and
off
find a
your
way to see
ass.
this movie. If it's still in the theater when you hear this, get off your ass and see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
It's one of those must-see films.
Yeah. I would. I'm definitely gonna go see it again. I already got
Visually stunning.
a friend of mine said, "Do you want to go see
All
Blade
the right
Runner
ways.
next week?" And I didn't even get him text him back because I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna go see it on Sunday already, so I have to go see it with him."
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
gonna
we'll
go see it again. Oh yeah, I'm definitely seeing
Maybe
this
we'll go see it again.
at least 2-3 times
Yeah.
because it's gonna be a while before the DVD comes out.
Oh yeah. The DVD won't come out till
Oh, you know,
probably
of course
March.
there'll be
I would say March.
some special edition box set or whatever I got to shell out for.
Let's see,
But
it's October, November, December.
it'd be
January,
nice if they had a little box
Yeah,
set of
March.
both movies with all the different cuts and
Yeah,
all
well,
the
they
stuff.
might do that. They might
Yeah,
put it
have
all
like
together.
a 5 or 6 Blu-ray set.
It's probably going to be a Target exclusive or a Walmart
Yeah,
exclusive.
Target has a lot of
or
exclusives.
Barnes and Nobles
Yeah.
exclusive or exclusive.
Yeah. So all right. So.
I give it a
A little-
7.5.
And I'm leaning more towards an 8.5, and I'm leaning to 9. I'm leaning
Wow.
really hard towards 9.
Really hard.
I'm like leaning on that
yeah.
line, that wall
Yeah,
of
yeah.
9. You know, I'm not sitting on it. I'm leaning right on
Yeah.
9.
It's going to be good when we come back after whatever a month or whatever.
Yeah.
We get back.
I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna notice stuff. I'm gonna be like, motherfucker, I'm knocking that shit down to a 4. Nah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no. I give it a.
This is way
I'm
up
gonna
there.
watch it again. You know, I don't know. But my first impression about 7.5 it was good.
Yeah.
Didn't love it. Didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Wasn't gonna hate
and
it.
a 7.5 from you is a good score.
Yeah. So, it's good. I didn't love it. I wanted to love it, but then I wouldn't have been true to the original because I love the original because the original is just classic.
But where it's different from the original is good, because they didn't
Okay,
need to
here
do
you go.
that. If they did
All
that,
right.
we would have been upset. It would
Here
have
you
been
go.
like,
Here-
oh,
here-
they're just
here's
trying
a
to
quick-
copy it.
Here's a quick comparison: Tron and Tron Legacy.
They're different films,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Star Wars
No,
and
no,
Force
no,
Awakens.
no, but Tron.
There's the
Tron
opposite.
And Tron Legacy is we're continuing the
Right.
story
Most
arc.
people will agree
Just like
that
Blade Runner, we're continuing
Yeah.
the story arc. So, Tron is good for its time. It's kind of hokey and corny, but
but
it's
it
cool.
gave us that concept, and the new Tron gives us
Yeah, it was a more
an expansion on
spiritual-
the story.
Yeah. So,
Right.
you know, do you like Tron Legacy more than the original Tron?
I like all things Tron.
Yeah.
Even the cartoon, and even though there were problems, I still like it.
I like Tron Legacy a lot
I
too. I
liked,
like the music.
The video game was, it was just, a parkour game, but the story in it was excellent, the way it tied it together. So I like all things Tron.
Yeah.
We'll do a Tron thing
Yeah.
at some point. But I guess that's gonna be a wrap, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
7.5
Blade
for me.
Runner,
7.5 for me.
yeah, Blade Runner. Watch the original.
Go watch the
Watch
original.
watch the final cut.
Go
That's
talk-
my favorite
Go
one.
talk to your friends who, watch movies and are into cinema
Yeah.
and poke their brain about it. See if they have any opinions on it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time on
Theater
Theater Investigative Team Show.
Show.
Cue the outgoing music.
That's already playing. You can't hear it in the background? Goodbye.